Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend. Mine was, it was okay. But now we got the week here, so work, more, yada yada. But more importantly, and more pressing, more near. So, yeah, this will be the start of the second route because we finished. Last time I streamed, we finished Route A. And what an ending. It was really good. But we're not done. Nope, we got to run through the game like four more times to get the true ending. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I have to tab over the game first. Okay, now let's get right into it. So I think I just... Is it just like this? I think this is how you do it. Wave to Yona. Because it gave me a message on like how to start up the next playthrough.
Whenever I interacted with
Oh,
Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
okay. This seems right. I hope. Yeah, the game told me what to do last time, and I forgot. So I'm just kind of hoping that this is the right call. I think it is, because it did say it would be Kaine's story. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. Wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life, spinning this way and that for a moment. It finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision. She could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave, he can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't hurt... Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? and I prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to run away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane and continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home. Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke, in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Leave this village. No one wants you here. Either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said. Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Like that, girl? It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you've survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. My body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Shh, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, then they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me! Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath, as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work. But it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of reading, huh? Hang on, let me get a drink first before I continue. Oh. Okay. I was hoping for a bit of gameplay, but this'll do. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma," called Kaine. "That's you, Kaine," yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, and smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Jades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with the chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it, crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. "This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes." Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her groaning mother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. "Stop that! Just stop!" she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all." Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending, sooner than either of them had feared. The positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. "It's all right," she said. "I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. "I don't like it, god damn it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up." The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled, handing her the medicine. He reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's just no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali, thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. With enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding in a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "How was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Huh? So, anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her a portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horseshit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. I put those crayons away and help with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her daughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kaine," she said in between laughter. "You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it." "But I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit and then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. It makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug," said Kaine. "And I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible." With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright. Why, you little brat? Laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. "Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm gonna pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." "Flagstones? What in the hell for?" Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house, and I'm gonna build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "Goddamn girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let 'em come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway." "I'm not worried about thieves, I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Oh, shoot, I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other—" "Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that." A confused expression passed the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. "Yes," she said after a bit. "Yes, of course, you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is—" She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. "You're gonna be a true woman soon," Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. "So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become." Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland. The look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. "You're a beautiful thing," said the old woman, "and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you." "Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day." "Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from?" "Gee, I wonder." "I'll teach you to sass me, girl," yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. "Grandma," yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it! What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just..." Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began, "maybe I should stay home after all." "No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. When you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you." Penny rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Penny could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around," she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel and for one final look, and saw a small bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh, gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma! Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. When she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her! She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large, armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spanning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard," she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me. Let's go!" The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest, then began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flame, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up, get up, get up, get up, now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma! Hold on. Just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine. Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma. Kaine, you gotta run. You can't mess this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no, no! I said run, goddammit, you have to live, you have to get through! Thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's claw foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing into the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind, something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke, and the flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Kill it, 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 kill it. Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. Oh, I need a drink after all that.
The beast approaches. Oh, I know.
Oh. Okay, now I'm kind of confused. So I guess we're playing through the game starting from here? What it seems like? Well, I got my... Yeah?
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again.
Hey, where'd my sights go? Alright.
My sword is lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Yeah, I'm still very confused as to what's going on with all this. Are we just basically resuming from this point of the game? Yeah? I did that on accident. I think I broke it. Oh, there we go. Okay, nope, we're good. Oh, man. Alright, time to snap its neck again. Ugh. Then you remember that shades are people! Is what we learned recently. Hooray! Okay. Oh, we're going back! Okay. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. I don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quietly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop. No, don't hurt that picture. Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's a perfect show. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and spoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. You got a wish, sunshine. The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form, and I wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! And I finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh, God. You are the best. And I glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it feels like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive. This was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with a mad, unabated joy. I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. You a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what could I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body, and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, and quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, sunshine, screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her, and heard its mocking laughter. She closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. You gotta stop. Holding her left arm and her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. It's my favorite dish, and I am hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body. Oh, that's rich, sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed, whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me. We got what you might call a timeshare agreement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait until they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, heard the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies, people you want to kill. I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, we'll wrap them up in their old assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine, no more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, do you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't don't give a good goddamn who you murder. Honey Pants, I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. Smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me. We're gonna have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part. If you don't want... Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So, listen. My name's Terrain. And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. And I found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I have shit bigger than you. So good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. Keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. And I waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm, around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, and slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. The possessed, corrupted, the freak. This time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area roused to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive. Stay alive.
Oh,
Stay alive. Grandma.
so that's where Kaine's powers come from. That's cool.
You gotta live. You
That's
gotta come
interesting.
back to us.
Ugh.
Oh, hey.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
That scene is really funny though, just because like she was so used to looking down at him, and now he's just towering over her.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
The squad's all here. Again.
Kaine waking from her long petrified
So
sleep.
is this gonna be like the second half of the game, but now there's like Kaine
Our
narration
reunion
bits?
was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain.
I still don't know.
That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Man, when that line played last time, I really thought that something big
Are
would
you
happen
kidding
between
me?
them.
You can't be serious.
And it's really funny that they did end up being villains, so...
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village.
Oh, are we gonna
Now
see
they
stuff from
wanna
like
run you
Kaine's
out?
perspective?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can
Emil, you
deal
are a
with it.
precious thing. I will fight tooth and nail for you to be accepted.
Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
Oh,
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
I don't even know. I was quiet for all the cutscenes for the first playthrough, but now I might talk over some of the ones, at least the ones that are the same and not changed. I might be willing to talk over those.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Oh, this is new.
Campfires are weird, aren't they?
That campfire
I'm
is
so happy to
weird.
get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Turan. I don't know. I assume we will learn more about that.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Yeah, I guess we'll learn what's up with the name. So
Fine.
this is interesting. So I'm guessing that's what the other endings are going to be, is just fleshing out, like, other characters. So we'll probably get to do, like, Emil's story next. Did I answer to guess?
This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
It's all gonna be depressing. I don't think, like, there's...
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
There's none of these where I'm like, oh man, exploring this character's just gonna be fun. I'm sure that there will be nothing sad or awful about this. That's not how this game is. That's never been how this game is. After what we went through, like, last time, ain't no way. Woo! I know this game now. I kind of knew before, but I know it now. That ain't how this thing rolls. It's all gonna suck. Just gonna watch from the distance. He is her sweet boy.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
More items. Oh, it's the plant. It's the seeds that I don't use because I don't touch the farming mechanics in this game. What's this?
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I've not heard you speak much about your mother.
Neither have I.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
Oof. Should have figured.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
Oh. It's Iona. Alright, well.
Say there. Can you not hear me?
What? We're gonna play as Big Me.
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming.
It's Big Me here from
Sleeping on
Gestalt.
one's feet is quite the talent indeed.
Hell yeah.
Come now. There's the door.
Yo, and we're in like the...
Let's go.
We're in like the place from Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but we're Big Man. Oh, what is this music? This is the world of the recycled vessel, created to avoid the destruction of all. Huh? What? Whoa. What the hell? What am I doing? What? Bats? Don't remember there being bat enemies. That's not the way to go. Okay. What the hell is happening? The total whiplash that I feel right now is absurd. Oh my god. What? I guess, you know, like, I know a lot of like RPGs have challenge modes, and I'm not, that's not new for me. I've done plenty of challenge modes in my day, but something about this game, like, you know, I'd only really been doing the main story. I had not been touching anything else. So the idea of this game having a challenge mode of some sort, or some weird optional thing like this, didn't even cross my mind. This is so weird. Also, we get to play as Gestalt Nier, which is kind of neat. Not expecting that. So yeah, if there are people who don't know the deal with this Nier, back when the original Nier Replicant released, yeah. So back when the original Nier Replicant released, it was Nier Replicant in Japan, and then it was Nier Gestalt in the West. And the Japanese version was very similar to this version, in that it was you played as, like, you know, the older brother to Yona, who had to save her, and then after the time skip, you got older, all that stuff. That's not how it was with Gestalt, where instead you played as Yona's, where instead it was pretty much the same game, but you were supposed to be Yona's father, and that's why there was Gestalt Nier, who looks way older. He's supposed to be Yona's father instead of brother, and it's weird, and I was not expecting him to show up in this game. So that's neat. That's cool. Black Scroll, A Lost Destiny, A White Book, A False Truth. That being said, what is going on? Also, these screen effects are kind of awful to look at. I have no idea. I feel like this could be wrecking the bitrate of the stream, and if it is, I am so sorry. I'm not getting any notifications on my end, but I don't trust that. There's no way I can look at this and go, yeah, this is definitely showing up perfectly fine on stream. Ain't no way. This looks like a mess. Ugh. All the songs are in the funny language, except for, like, the credits song. The credits song was definitely just in English. I think every other song in this game is in the funky language. I don't know why we have entered the piss world, but we have, and that's just what we're dealing with. I don't understand what is going on. I'm sorry, the game was pretty slow, you know, I was reading stuff, and it was quiet moments with Kaine and Emil, and now there's soldiers of Salt calling forth white death, they are lead those plundered worlds of darkness, and now things are going crazy, and I'm playing as an older version of the character, of the protagonist, and it's a weird thing is there's wacky remixes of the tracks from the game. We're in chaos. What? Drakengard? Was there something Drakengard? Die. Slide. Bonk. Oh, salt. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Maybe? You know, my Drakengard knowledge is spotty at best. watched like a video on some of the games, and I know roughly how it ties into Nier. But I don't know it too well. God damn teleporting bastards. Stop teleporting. I can't kill you if you're... God damn it. Bonk. 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 Ow. I gotta... Alright. Oh god, what's next? Oh! Oh! Retain the one-handed sword Fool's Embrace. Okay. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Okay, yeah, so it is Drakengard, because I do know that part. Hang on, I want to see that. What's this new sword? What? Oh. Oh, that's a dragon. Yep, that's a dragon. See, it's got the head at the hilt, the wings of the guard, and then the tail is the hooked blade. Okay, so this is Drakengard stuff. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Neato. Yeah, I have no... I saw an interactable in the house that wasn't there before, and I touched it, and now I'm in a weird place fighting shades. The color is weird, and it's making Drakengard. Holy crap! Whoa! Have I fought something like this guy before? He seems vaguely familiar, but I don't know entirely. Maybe I fought one without armor. Or this is one of the enemies towards the late game that I would encounter in the overworld and just run past. That's entirely possible. It's not a robot though, it's just a shade in armor. Oh. Okay. And bada boom. Cool. Okay, what's next? What wacky thing are you gonna tell me next? Oh. Is that it? Are we done? The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return to the soulless vessels. Okay, we side-scrolled now. Wait, hang on, I gotta activate my thing. Alright. Now we're good to go. Groovin'. I should use those medicinal herbs because it keeps giving me them. Oh god. Oh, how dare you do this to me, game. How dare you require me to do platforming. Not happy. There's a reason I'm an RPG gamer and not a platform gamer. I didn't grow up with Mario. I grew up with whatever free RPG or like demo I could find on the 3DS. Oh god. No, I'm not dealing with you. Womp. Okay. we go. Lol. Lamau. God damn it. Can I, like, lock onto him? Oh. Yeah. Kill him. Kill him now. Please. There we go. Die. You guys have, like, no health. How are you lasting this long? Die. Die. Yeah, I should have just done that earlier. Ah! Holy crap! What was that? Jesus! Dear Lord! Oh! There we go. Oh. Yeah, I was like, I just ate something, huh? Alright. Hi. Alright. What's next? Kabuki outfit. Hey! Things! Is that it? Are we done? A new door. Okay, I think we're gonna do more of that later. We'll pick this up later. Actually, new outfits could be fun. 'Cause, we are just going through the same stuff again.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Oh. Wacky. Hey, isn't there a way that we can, like... That was another thing. I saw it mentioning a new way to change outfits. Because before, to change outfits, you had to go, like... You had to go from the main menu, and it was annoying. Huh. I don't know. I'll mess around with the idea of outfits later. Maybe, we do that before next time.
Hey.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
Alright.
Yep. It's gonna be a lot of the same. Woo! Been a while since I've moved like that. Hello.
Coppola?
Oh, hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
The temple
Listen to all
where I
this
was
stuff.
first discovered.
About getting the keys.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Oh, it was right under our pages the whole time.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So take a boat.
A boat?
Yes, the canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected.
Oh, we're gonna
But
talk
the
with
ships and all.
the canal guy before he dies.
I
Yay!
also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge.
Oh, the
That should
ferryman.
make it easier.
Thanks, Popola.
Oop.
I feel like you've done so much for me.
I want to grab him and I just want to shake him and be like, dude, you're gonna die! Stay away from, was it Seafront is the name of the town?
See you around.
Like, dude,
For the
don't go
love of
near
everything,
don't go near the
be
big
careful.
boat! Stay away from the big boat! You're gonna die, man! God, I still can't believe, I saw that wreck. I always loved, like, you know, big pirate ships and stuff when I was a kid. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's a slave ship. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a bunch of dead people at the bottom of it. It's like, oh no.
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
All the people with the side quests that I'm not doing. It's nice, people. That's nice, folks, but not feeling it. Hey, man.
Hey, look who it is. Remember me?
I do. You die.
That red bag. By my pages. You're the slovenly half of that couple who refused to stop arguing.
Hey, it's been a while.
I love the completely different responses these two give. Just, oh my god, it's you! The lazy one out of that couple who just kept arguing, and then just, hey.
Sure has. I've been in charge of this canal since we last talked. Apparently I did a pretty good job with it because they decided to make me the permanent ferryman.
Oh yeah, huh? Congrats.
Thanks. Still, it's not all puppies and unicorns. The old ball and chain is always harping on me now about how much I work. Anyway, if you got a place to be, just let me know and I'll take you there.
Alright. Gotta do all this stuff. Wave to Yona. Hello, Yona. We're gonna save you again.
The Lost Shrine's up ahead, just past this cave.
As well as the Shadow Lord's castle.
Let us make haste.
Nyom. Oh, we're skipping right to here. That's kind of nice. Oh, no. We get to hear them talk. Mourning the loss of his... Oh, or... Huh. Yeah, I already knew they were Hansel and Gretel because but the 14 bosses they're in the third Nier raid in Final Fantasy 14. So I already knew their names. But yup. I thought that like, oh, maybe once we learn, like, this one's now based on Kaine. So I'm like, well, she can clearly understand shades because she was talking to one at one point. So my guess was correct in that, like, yep, all those times where just the camera would just focus on a shade and they'd just be making noises and nothing would be happening. Yeah, those are all going to be narrated now. So, that's going to be fun. Kinda, you good down there? You good, kinda? Whoa! I don't think she's good. Man, I remember having to come up here at the end of the game, and it was kind of awful. Because there were those flying enemies that I just could not hit for the life of me. Might want to start narrating those because they're not voice.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Oh my god, the voice I picked for Tyrion is actually how he sounds. That's great.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
I nailed it. Oh my god. I'm actually really proud of myself for that. The voice I picked just is what he sounds like. Hell yeah. And I want to make it damn clear. I had not heard Tyrion before. It was literally just, okay, this is what they're writing. This is how I'm going to assume this character sounds. And I was right. I was spot on. That was not the button I meant to press. Sorry, I just realized I have another attack button. I've just been using square this whole time, but I can also use triangle. And that's a heavy attack, it looks like? What? Combos and stuff? Hang on, is that just... Okay, but if I do... Ow. Fine, I'm trying to figure out combos. I'm in the lab. You're not allowed to mess with me while I'm labbing. How dare you? Bonk! Okay, that can be kind of fun. Bonk! How did I not figure out there was a second attack button? I've just been mashing. If people have been watching me mash square, I've just been like, does he know that there's like another button that he can press to attack? That it's not just... Oh my god, I bet that's how you deal with armored enemies with other weapons other than greatsword. Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, I'm such a fool. Oh, I am the big stupid. Oh my god. Oh. It's like standard practice for most action games, is at the very least 2 attack buttons. I feel like there's more enemies than were here last time, but they are also going down a lot faster. Oh. This dude's still alive. Where are we going? Oh, there's another guy. Okay. I assume we're going this way. But there could be new secrets. I was gonna say, maybe I'll just skip, like, exploring. And I'm like, but what if? You know? You never know. You never know. Not in the slate. Okay. Healing items that I don't need. Leo. But hey, you never know. Like, what if there was, like, a weapon or something over there? Or, like, maybe some, like, interesting... Oh, the puzzles are back. Like, what if? You never know until you check. Okay, no, that's gonna push me into the middle each time. Can I do... Oh. Ah, there we go.
This is all too easy.
You ain't gonna get the jump on me. I'm too powerful. I've lost a tiny bit of time. Enough to warrant a medicinal herb. I've been listening to the soundtrack of this game in some of my off time. Like if I'm out walking around, I'll put my earbuds and I'll listen to a song every now and again. Music's good, even if the lyrics are nonsense. But, like, I can't complain about the lyrics being nonsensical. I listen to Guilty Gear music, so... Clearly, I don't give a damn about whatever the lyrics are. Oh! We also just get to hear normal shades talking.
Certainly not your garden variety shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
You know what? I've realized what Charon sounds like. He sounds like Beetlejuice. But I think, like, specifically musical Beetlejuice? Which is good. That's a compliment. I like musical Beetlejuice a little better. Oh, that's so good. How did I not know about it sooner? More? No. Checking for boxes. You never know. Never know. God, the sights are just ripping them up. Oh, man. Man, these block puzzles, they're not hard. They're just tedious. Ow.
The human blender. Yes, slice and dice until nothing remains.
Oh, sorry, I get a little too into it sometimes. Oh, new challengers. Eh. Boom. Welcome to the corner.
Your final resting place.
How did I not know about that move sooner? I'm still I'm still hitting myself in the head repeatedly, being like, how did I not know about that? Wait. Yeah, I have some bad news. There's a box over there. No. Die. Damn. I hit hard. Sorry, chat. I need to go see what's in that box. Huh? Oh, I have to go through here again. Emil! My boy! You must move out of my way. Oh, I missed the box over here. Just medicinal herb. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it last stream, but I actually got a Steam achievement for beating the game in under 15 hours. Which is kind of funky. I was not trying to speedrun the game at all. But I guess just because I skipped like every side quest and stuff, I got a Steam achievement. So that was kind of neat. Just running through doors. More doors. Oh, okay, here we go. They've decided to make a hard one. For the very least, a complex one. Baba Booey. It wasn't actually that hard. Medicinal herbs, medicinal herbs, medicinal herbs. So there was nothing, it would seem. God damn it. Onward and upward, I guess. Oh. I've treated you all poorly. I mocked you, betrayed you, all because you went Gestalt before the change was complete. But after all this, I think I can understand you. I think we can speak as equals. This makes me very happy. I hope we can spend the rest of our lives. What was that? It's me! I'm here! I'm here to beat you up and take your lunch money.
Kaine, Emil, look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun!
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil.
You've got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kaine. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast...
Emil, that's enough. I got a fucking image to maintain.
I love that line. I love that exchange so much. All because she's got an image to maintain. I'm starting to get the layout of the Lost Shrine, like, just mapped in my head. Like, I know how to get around this place now. Because I've been here so many times. Why do you keep sending me back here? Nothing. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, that is absolutely what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, they're about to make us feel bad for every boss we kill, I feel. For all the ones that we got the key fragments for, they're gonna be like, and actually, this is why they were cool. And you should feel bad for killing them, and it's gonna be just like, well, you didn't give me a choice game, but I still feel kinda bad. I knew it, I was like, there's a box here, in this corner. No box there, though.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick them aside.
Man. I mean, I know those lines were giving me red flags before the reveal, but even still. Good God. Yeah, she's just not talking about it. She can understand all of them, but, you know. Why bring down the mood? I should mention, we're for the future, when we reach, like, near Automata has, ending Z. We're not doing that. I'm not getting all of those. I'm just going to ending E, which is for Automata, which is the actual ending. I was just thinking about that looking at the save screen. It's just... Don't you touch them. Oh, he was trying to protect the other shades.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Not their leader. It is I who rely on them. It is they who saved me. Oh, so they can even understand us. Oh, stop hurting my friends.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here.
Yep, I was right. It is Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice the Musical. That is the voice that Tyrion has. Oh, yeah, no, most of the endings are joke endings for Automata. It's just endings A through E that are like actual endings. Every other ending is pretty much a joke ending. We'll get maybe a couple of them, but yeah, I'm not getting all of them. There's so many. Big hand. Punch.
Have you felled the beast?
No. Those are my friends.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad for this freak, are ya? Hey, no turning back now. You gotta love
Die.
the blood. Embrace the
Bonk.
slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kaine?
I just realized I'm taking like no damage. Oh. I think. Oh, there we go. Enough running around. Yeah, Kaine's probably gonna get got again. If I had to hazard a guess, I think things are gonna play out mostly the same. Yep, there she goes.
Kaine!
Yeah, well, we saw it coming. Ah, it means we're gonna have to do the Kaine boss fight again.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, we hit Tehran's like,
Kaine!
move, move, come on, you stupid arm, move. He had more dialogue, but I cut him down before he could finish it. I kind of feel bad. There it is. I see what you mean when you say he's just Eddie, but I think the relationship is actually closer to Venom. I mean, he's even got the whole black, like, goo stuff going on for him, so I think Venom's a closer comparison. Rather than,
Are you alright?
Eddie Guilty Gear. I mean, Eddie Guilty Gear is also kind of goofy,
there is
but...
little we can do for her.
No! Kaine!
I know you meant Zato Zeti. I'm just saying.
It's all over for you, son.
I'm just saying it's closer to Venom because black goo and also like.
Kaine!
I'm talking. Well, I'm also talking like movie Venom, where he's goofy and silly.
It's Kaine's shade.
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Just keep firing projectiles. Bonk. Get off the wall, damn it. Ow. Get down from there.
Now, pin her down.
Bonk.
Kaine, please!
Oh dear.
Kaine! Kaine!
Kaine!
I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend.
What if there's
and
gonna be
I
like
need
new
you.
fights?
So don't you dare leave me!
Because considering they took like very little damage, it's definitely not scaling up with my current level.
Alright.
So I wonder if there's gonna be like harder fights later, or if I'm just gonna start steamrolling the game.
And... thanks. I'm alright.
Over there.
Alright. Let's start picking up those key fragments.
And what is this, hmm?
It's me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
Oh, is this why Popola knew like all of the different pieces? Because she was involved with that?
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this.
Yeah. I think she had the other names
I wrote
because she
down
just
all the
knew.
words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the lost shrine, the words must mean something. There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree.
Yeah, these are all named after the
Loyal
shade
Cerberus.
involved.
The Law of Robotics probably refers to the Junk Heap, and the Memory Tree might be the Forest of Myth. But as for Sacrifice and Loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem.
Hmm?
If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even
I
be
forgot
sure
how
that she's-
unreasonable the protagonist is around this time.
Because she is!
Out.
Right. The Junk Heap and the Forest of Myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful.
Ugh.
Oh, and listen. About Kaine and Emil. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... they're scared, you know? People can't change overnight. I'll hurry them along the best I can. But can you please give them a little more time?
I'll try.
Alright, well. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to dash forward, not backwards. Alright, Forest of Myth then. Oh wait, no, Junk Heap first. Because then we need to get the weapon made. Although we already...
Popola said we might be able to
We
find
already
a key
have
fragment
the-
in the junk heap.
weapon. Huh?
Perhaps we can find
How's
a
that
clue
gonna
with
work?
Two Brothers' weaponry.
'Cause, yeah, I still... Yeah, that's the sword he makes. Hmm. Okay, now I really want to see how this is gonna play out. There's even new, like, journal entries from Yona. Or at least ones that I don't recognize immediately. Hmm. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what the whole deal is with the other endings. Because, I've heard them all the time. People talk about it all the time whenever you reference the Nier series of, like, oh yeah, the different endings. The different letter endings. So I've always heard about them, but I never actually understood what the process was like. Because I was just like, do you just replay the entire game? God, you see that play? I knew it was going to start spawning shades, so you just preemptively get my sights up. But yeah, I was just kind of like, is it replaying the entire game again? Or how does it work? Or it's, I don't know, it's interesting. Up the ladder. There we go. So, I don't know. I'm figuring this out. I'll figure it out as we go. And then I'm gonna have several other ones play through, so... Hooray. Because I also know that, ending E is new to this version of Replicant. It was not in the original. I am aware of that fact, at least. So, the original ended at D, so my assumptions are, so A is the normal game, B is Kaine, so C is probably Emil, and then D would be either Vice, or it could be like a finale thing? I don't know.
Damn! Where'd they go?
Hmm.
Get him! Don't let him escape!
Are you gonna die, Mom? My child.
I see something over there!
This cutscenes now. You're almost grown up now, my child. Stay strong. You must run now. Do you understand? Run as fast as you can. What about you? Challenge them and give you time to escape. No, you can't. Be safe, my child. Be safe and happy. No, not Demo. Promise me that you will remember your mother. I don't even know what Demo looks like. Mom, wait, let's go together. Mom! This is the shade that ends up with the robot, I assume. No, don't leave me. Mom, why? Oh. Who's there?
Who are you?
I am Khalil. What's your name?
Military defense robot, Key 33.
Oh, Okay, yeah, no, now that he speaks like fully, you can definitely tell that it's Robbie Damon voicing P-33. I just remember that from the credits.
You are an intruder. You must be eliminated. Error. There is something leaking from your eyes.
I'm crying, you big dumb robot. Miss my mom.
What is crying? Who is Mom?
It doesn't matter. I can't see her ever again because she's dead.
My creator is also dead. He perished hundreds of years ago.
Hundreds of years ago? Really?
874 years, 10 months, 14 days, 4 hours, and 43 minutes. 44 minutes.
That's less than the time skip from the opening of the game, so... Interesting. So people are still around a while after that. Aren't you lonely?
I am incapable of being lonely, or missing others, or crying.
I'm crying because I don't want to die.
You will die.
If the humans catch me, they're gonna kill me.
Why will they kill you? I will not permit the humans to kill Khalil.
Huh?
Military defense robot P-33 will protect you.
You're gonna help me?
P-33 is charged with defending others. P-33 will defend Khalil.
Oh, hooray! Thanks, robot. And since we're friends now, I'm gonna call you Beepy. Now remember, we kill them later on. Hooray! Oh, this game. Oh, we get to see this cutscene.
There's gotta be tons of machinery here.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we can actually use.
Oh, wow. Check this out. It looks brand new.
Hey, be careful, all right? This place is dangerous.
Oh boy, here we
I'll
go.
be fine.
Accidentally killing his brother and then blaming it on the robot.
Oh no!
Huh?
Look out!
Huh? Everything is worse. And let me guess, we're gonna hear the... What are they gonna say?
Huh?
What's the one in the shade gonna say?
Jacob? Oh god, this can't be happening. Jacob! Jacob! No!
Are they gonna say something? Is this cutscene changed at all? And thus began... Oh, there is new stuff. Wow, that was scary.
The noise of the intruders caused the structure to fail. They should have proceeded with more caution.
It was not the noise, it was the younger brother kicking the pipe back.
One intruder has perished.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't think they were chasing me. They seemed nice. Oh, you poor innocent thing. Oh.
The junk heap. Perhaps we should speak to the brothers. They might know something about this.
Brother. Hey. Oh. I never explained how we got the mechanical armor.
Hey there. It's been a while. You're the little one, aren't you? You've grown up.
How fares your brother?
My brother's been dead for 4 years.
Oh, I see. Please forgive the question.
It's okay.
I need to ask you something. What is it? You heard any rumors about shades around here? Not the little ones. I'm looking for one that's unusually big and powerful.
No, I haven't heard about anything like that. But I haven't really been listening. All I want is to destroy robots. Just rip them up.
Okay. Never mind then. See you later.
Wait!
Yes.
I recently got my hands on a weapon.
Okay, here we go. I want to see how this game handles this.
I thought you might get some use out of it.
I'm really interested. Okay. Let's see. Give me the weapon, champ.
Don't we already have this weapon?
These things happen the second time around. This sword is...
Okay, that's kind of cool. There's a little dialogue for that.
Yeah, it's pretty beat up. I mean, there's potential, but it's fairly powerless right now.
Can you repair it?
I can repair anything with the proper materials.
If you'll fix it, I'll get the parts.
I'm so glad I decided not to throw this out. I'm gonna need some memory alloy. Only the real big enemies on the second basement level have them, so watch yourself. Also, here's the passcode to get down there. Use it on the elevator.
You got it.
Can I
I'm gonna need some... Only the real big...
You got...
By the... What can I help you with?
Giant eggs? How do I get giant eggs?
Come back.
Well, I gotta make sure to grab my lizard. Wait, first, give me some health. Lizard! Oh wait, no, sorry, I forgot. It's rats over here.
Give me the rat.
Oh god, I can't keep doing that. That voice is a little too much. Okay. Oh my god, the red bag couple. You already possess the falling item memory alloy.
It's a shame about the older lad.
So can I like
As a child.
Sounds like you went to a dangerous area for the sake of the business.
So if I leave, am I allowed to do that? Just run back and be like, hey, I have the memory alloy. Can I set it? Oh, yes, I can actually. Okay, ready. What's a ship?
A large seagoing vessel that carries freight and passengers over bodies of water.
Yay! You're so great, Beepy. You've learned so much.
You have taught me much, Khalil. You have helped to expand my vocabulary.
They had an actual friendship. Oh, we're gonna have to kill them.
You have instructed me in the ways of the outside world.
There's tons of stuff I don't know either. Maybe we should leave here and go explore the world.
Because we are friends.
That's right. Yay! It's gonna be fun!
No, rat! Fired.
Rat!
So stupid. Alright. Yeah, I got the memory out. Wait, do I have... Hang on, I got it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, no, I still do just have the one. Yeah, its name is
Pretty
P.
impressive stuff you found.
Yeah.
I'll start upgrading your weapon right away. And since you did me a favor, I won't even charge you for it. Well, actually, this is gonna take a little more time than I thought. No sense in you waiting around. I'll send you a letter once it's ready.
That would be great.
Well,
It appears we have some free time on our hands.
man, this is a nice looking pipe. Head for the
Well,
Forest of
we
Myth.
might be able to find something in the Forest of Myth.
I gotta do more reading.
If I seem less than enthusiastic about such a trip.
What, you worried the Forest is gonna call you out again, Vice? It should. It's funny when it did that. Hello, Yoda. Meow. Bonk. Stupid shade. I will say this overworld music is always, it's always nice. Oh sweet lord, what is happening over there? Oh, they're fighting the boar. You know, I should probably do that at some point. There's a little side. I remember this from my other playthrough. There's a little side quest you can do, and then if you fight the boar, you can use the boar to travel around the overworld. But I just never bothered to do it this time around. I mean, the overworld's not huge, and you can get around pretty easily just by rolling.
The home of that blasted dream.
Yeah.
Truly a nightmare I hope never to experience again.
I hear you.
Oh, hello. How are things? You want to know if anything unusual is happening? Well, I have been feeling a rather strange presence whenever I visit the Divine Tree.
The Divine Tree?
I wonder what the Divine Tree is. Wonder. What could the Divine Tree ever possibly be?
It's a legendary tree that exists in
No
the
idea.
Argyle
Couldn't tell you. I ain't got no clue. Sorry. You know, I played this game. I already got through this before, but you know, even now, I couldn't tell you. Just it had slipped my mind. Yeah. So yeah, where's this Divine Tree?
Did you investigate the cause of
Bit
this
stupid.
presence?
Not really, no.
And why not?
Well, we're not really supposed to go near the tree, except for prayer.
And why is that?
I don't know. It's just how things have always been.
Weird.
Well. Wait, do you guys still have funky dialogue?
Unusual activity? Here? No, I don't think so.
Really, Matt Mercer? None?
But
All
I
right.
do have an incredible story for you. Want to hear it?
Yeah. No, it's gonna be the same as last time. Alright.
On the grass, the trees, the woods.
That seems clearer than last time.
Why do we seem to encounter nothing but odd people lately?
Everybody in this world is
You
odd.
should talk, Vice.
As if Grimoire Weiss is capable of spouting such nonsense.
Hang on. I don't think it's done.
Is the dark entity that governs all memories. May the words form themselves to your liking.
Does that mean it'll tell us what we want to know? That'd be nice.
Yay! Black, pure darkness, painted over everything. Words scattered here and there across the blackness. Kind words, difficult words, amorous words, all sparkling in the dark like jewels. The words were few now, but time was shorter. Grabbing the words in desperation, the tree turned to the sky. "This is wrong," whispered the tree in the voice of wind through the leaves. "This is not how it was supposed to be. The plan has failed." Once long ago, the tree had remembered everything about the world. This was its task, its function, its purpose. It shivered with something approaching joy as it collected the memories of mankind. This was no accident. Emotions were as much a part of a tree as root and bark. Memories collected like dew on the thick green leaves of the tree. And once they had formed a web that spanned the entire world, words collapsed into sunlight before passing through the leaves and into the pool of memory. From the pool, the words joined together to form colonies. The colonies united into whirlpools of light, and the light coalesced into the stars. Each star was like a child of the tree, and it loved them all. Look at my memory. A child is here, brought low by disease. He is far too young to have suffered so. Thin beyond words, the boy's skin is a shade paler than the bleak sheets upon which he lies. His parents no longer visit him, for they cannot bear to watch him suffer. The doctors have long since surrendered his fate to the gods. The boy, too, has abandoned hope. Strange emotions, weariness, hatred, swell within the dark recesses of his young heart. He tries to reject the black terror that germinates in his body. No amount of effort or tears can drive the invader away. He has long ceased to resent his parents and doctors. Once he did, but now his pain is so great that there is a little room in his heart to think of others. Only one person brings the boy comfort. A healthy young girl with tan skin and deep blue eyes. She is a beacon of brightness and light in the boy's world. Her very presence is a comfort to him, but he is unable to look upon her face. Whenever they meet, the boy is filled with loathing for his own state. Soon this loathing eats away at what joy he receives from the girl's visits. The girl will stop coming. He knows this. His every waking moment is spent in fear of this day. He thinks that if he could talk to her, if he could tell her of his feelings, this might not be so. But this conversation never happens. The girl disappears. The boy dies alone. The tree scoops up this memory and carefully stores it within itself. Etched upon it is a single word: envy. Look at my memory. There's a female warrior. Her greatest enemy is a beast with red eyes that she cannot fully comprehend. When she strikes it with her sword, it turns into a pillar of salt and dies. But when the white smoke clears, a new enemy rises. And another, and another. The warrior knows that her struggle is folly, but fighting the unending stream of enemies fills her with a sense of joy and purpose. Somewhere deep in the warrior's drug-addled mind lies a vague memory of a daughter. Perhaps the child exists only in her head, the dying remnants of a powerful dream. She does not know. Her friends and fellow warriors come and go. Some flee in terror, some are eaten. She began the fight with 63 companions, but most are gone now. The warrior's body shudders. She does not understand why at first. By the time she hears the fierce, low sound, the arena is already enclosed in darkness. Looking up, the warrior sees a beast so large that it blots out the sky. She is laughing. She has been doing so for as long as she can remember. Covered in blood and dirt, the warrior laughs. She laughs and laughs until the town that contains her daughter collapses into a pile of dust. This memory has been stored for a long time. It is etched with a single word: loss. Look at my memory. Red dragon falls from the heavens. Ah, that memory has been lost. Shame. It was a favorite of mine. After many centuries of existence, the tree saw that its carefully labeled memories were beginning to dwindle. Once seemingly infinite, the memories now seemed ready to disappear forever. The tree did not feel sadness at this. Grief was an emotion beyond its comprehension. It did, however, have the distinct feeling that something was missing. The mountain of memories it had so carefully assembled had disappeared. The tree stretched its branches as far as it could, but new memories refused to flow. The pool of memories was a black, empty pit, a hollow place where life had once flourished. The tree had lost its purpose. There was nothing to be done but sift through the few remaining memories, littering the ground under its branches. This is why the tree was pleased when the young man and his companion entered the room. This place is gloomy as hell. The room Xandal had entered was almost completely empty. All he could see were a few crystals scattered haphazardly on the ground. Picking up one of the crystals and peering into it, Xandal suddenly saw a familiar sight. It was the Forest of Myth, its villagers prisoners of their own dreams. I apologize, the tree thought. That is all that remains. As Xandal stared at the jewel, bewildered, a voice suddenly called out from the depths of his mind. The voice implored them to listen. It was an order. Following it was mandatory. Abruptly, the pair realized that they must listen. They must listen. Look there. A small, shadowy presence appeared from beneath the floor. It appeared to be a shade. The shade grasped several jewels in its hand. More jewels tumbled out of its mouth like shards of broken teeth, sights and sounds tinkling from each one before vanishing forever. The creature was abusing the memories, treating the precious objects like a collection of cheap playroom toys. This shade appears to be consuming the memories. These things eat memories? The tree extended a branch towards Xandal. Without a second thought, Xandal brought his blade down on the shade, tearing its stomach wide. Jewels burst from the shade and poured across the chamber floor. Look, thought the tree. There is the conviction memory I had lost, and satisfaction, and many others as well. Yes, this is good. The tree opened its mouth and attempted to speak, but no sound emerged. A millennium of silence and solitude had caused the tree to forget certain things. Rather than be upset, it greeted the development with good cheer. Focusing all its power on the riddle of speech, the tree formed a kind of makeshift vocal cord and tried again. I implore. It spat out a glimmering green jewel. One more time. I implore you. There we are. What was the color of the lost envy? Blue. It spoke. This shade has intelligence and emotion. Who cares? Xandal brushed Weiss's comment aside as his sword sliced through the shade's right arm. The shade extended its remaining arm to Xandal. I must touch him. I must make contact. The moment its fingers brushed against Xandal, the tree felt a warm sensation begin to burn. Something hot coursed through its fingers, up its arm, and out to its entire body. It was emotion, more than the entity had felt in centuries. The tree cried out in surprise and joy. 1,000 years alone, 1,000 years in quiet contemplation, the tree felt like it was going to break apart. For long centuries the tree had been alone, its heart sealed with heavy chains, but no more. New, powerful emotions began to take hold, causing its heart to lighten. This was more than the simple emotions it had been designed to feel. It was the beginnings of a soul. The young man was the key. This was the promise made long ago. This was how it would be released. The tree's stomach began to throb in pain. A new and unpleasant sensation, but the time was not yet right. I implore you. How many were lost by the warrior who fought the red-eyed beasts? Her daughter and 63 friends. Okay, riddle time is over. I'm gonna kill this stupid shade once and for all. Something round and shiny fell from the open stomach and clattered to the floor. The key! Cried the book. Secure the key! The man's sword slowed. Time began to dilate around them, stretching and slowing. Time is essential. The next word must be heard. The words exploded. It became difficult to discern the meaning. The pool of memories began to crack as the infinite blackness burrowed its way into the wall. This world is falling apart. How can a world of letters... Implore. Most important thing. World. Yona. Light was complete. The memories disappeared. The tree's identity began to dissolve. As the letters slowly faded, Xandal was drawn back to the real world, and the tree was satisfied. I have to admit, I do have a bit of fun voicing this.
What in the... I never realized shades were capable of rational thought.
I don't care if they can tap dance and play the fiddle. I just want to kill them without all this hassle.
With the tree defeated, we no longer have to worry about being buried in its world of letters. Unless, of course, time itself begins to rewind.
We've been here before.
Let's see if the Junk Heap kid sent us a letter.
I just want to look at weapons. What can I say? I like weapons. Alright, well. I think I'm gonna head back to town and call it there. So next time we will blitz through whatever's less. You know, honestly, yeah, I'd be willing to go later next time. I got some stuff I gotta get done tonight, but yeah, we might just blitz through this in 2 streams. Unless there's like a whole bunch of extra stuff afterwards, in which case maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, so let me go and get that letter, and then that is what we will do next time.
You have a letter, it would seem.
Yeah, dear Santa, this is to inform you that the upgrade work on your weapon has been completed. The weapon is ready and available for pickup at your earliest convenience. I also have a more personal request to make of you, one I hope we can discuss further once you arrive to pick up the weapon. Yours, Two Brothers Weaponry. Yeah, the weapon I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna go pick up that weapon.
We should see what he wants. Off to the Junk Heap, then.
Yeah, Alright. He's gonna do it for me tonight. Also, because some of those voices have destroyed my throat. And I want to just, I don't know. Maybe I'll make some tea for myself. But yeah. Thank you all for coming by. This is a lot of fun. Good to get back into it. And yeah, I will see you all in the future. Next stream, Thursday, roughly same time as this one. So 7 p.m. PST. And with that, we'll bid you all adieu. Goodbye. Wrong end screen. My bad.